Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namami buddham gunasagarantam santa sada hontu sukhiya vera kayo jinguncho sakalo dugando Gachanti sabbe maranang ahancha Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Asevanaca balanam panditananca sevanam Pujaca pujaniyanam Etang Mangala Muntamang. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in Dhamma, our temple, Leicester Buddhist Vihara, today we are going to discuss one of the discourses in Buddhism, Mangala Sutta, Supreme Blessings. How we develop Supreme Blessings that Buddha has explained. This discourse comes in Khuddaka Nikaya or Khuddaka Pata and Sutta Nipata. Here, Buddha has explained how we develop the real blessings in our life. Usually we think that blessings come from outside. When we go to a place or a person, we think that holy place or person give us blessings. That is the common thing that we think. But here Buddha points out that how we develop, how we make a refuge by ourselves in our mind. This is the real way how we get the real benefits, real blessings. First of all, we should understand why Buddha explained this discourse. One day, a deity, at night, he came to Buddha and asked a question. He asked that, Bhante, there is a question among human world and divine realm, that they are thinking, what are the blessings? Let me know please, what are the real blessings? Then Buddha explained those blessings one by one. Here it is very important to understand the purpose of everyone. The purpose of every being is happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. We do everything in the name of happiness. Especially, we wish some blessings for our happiness. Buddhism always emphasizes the path for the happiness. As I mentioned before, entire Buddhism is that purifying one's mind. The more we purify our mind from negative thoughts, the more we are happy. Buddha says, Mano pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya. Manasache paduttena bhasati va karoti va tatonan dukkhamanveti chakvanno vahato padam. Mano pubbangama dhamma. Mind is forerunner. Mano setta. Mind is chief. Mano maya. Mind made ade. If someone acts or speaks something with impure mind, suffering follows him because of impurity of mind. On the other side, Buddha says, if someone says or acts something with pure mind, fruitful results, good results follow him because of the purity of mind. In this situation, we can understand if we need happiness, if we need success in our life, we should keep our mind pure and calm. That is the main purpose of Buddhist doctrines. And here, when we discuss this discourse, Mangala Sutta, the discourse of blessings, Buddha pointed out what are the real blessings that we make in our life from beginning to end. You know, when we listening to Buddha's message, there is a very common quality, common characteristic in Buddhism, that it has an order. You know, Buddha says, when I speak something, the sermon has an order. Dana kata, sila kata, sagga kata, kamanang adinavanang, like that. Generosity, virtue, heavenly path, this is the order of Buddhist doctrines. Buddha says, his message is like the ocean. You know, ocean deepens gradually. Buddha's message also like that. It deepens little by little to the deeper level. It starts in the surface level. When we listening to Buddha's message again and again, sometimes we can see this characteristic in the same discourse. Especially when we discuss this Mangala Sutta, we can see this order. Little by little, it deepens. And also the other thing, when we listening to Buddha's real message, while we are listening to that message, our mind, little by little, should be purified. Why is that? Buddha says, listening to Dhamma is one of the entrances of enlightenment or liberation. Vimuttayatana. The place where we liberate is that listening to Dhamma. Listening to Dhamma, discussing Dhamma, reflecting Dhamma, meditation, reciting. Those are the places where I can enter the liberation. In that way, you know, when we listening to Buddha's message, you can see this order, and little by little, we can purify our mind. We can be mindful while we are listening to the message. If we are very sensitive and mindful, we can see this order. Here, the very first stanza or gatha that Buddha says in Mangala Sutta, Asevanacha balanam panditanancha sevanam pujacha pujaniyanam etam mangala muttamam. You know, when that deity asked the Buddha what are the blessings in this world, now Buddha is explaining one by one what are the blessings in this world. In very first one, that Buddha says, asevanacha balanam, not associating with fools. That is the very first one. Association decides where we are going to. If we meet good friends, we can go to the good path. If we meet fool people, then our path is incorrect. That is why Buddha emphasizes association is very important on this path. One day, Bhante Ananda, he says that the Lord Buddha, I understand something. This dispensation, Buddha Sasana, depends on half of good association. Then Buddha says, Mahevan Ananda, Mahevan Ananda. Don't say Ananda like that. Don't say like that. This path, liberation, enlightenment, completely depends on good association. That is a very good news. And here, that is why Buddha says, if we need a blissful life, we make good friends. And also, we have to overcome bad association. The very first one is not associating with fools. This is very important. Sometimes you may think that we should reject bad friends. It is not here. It means not a physical association. It means mental association. Sometimes we can associate with some people who are fools. But we don't get their bad behaviors to our life. That is the way how we overcome, how we reject bad association. Association means associating with qualities, not associating with physical body. Isn't? We can be with some false people, but we don't follow their bad qualities. That is the way, according to what Buddha says, not associating with fools. Then we have no physical problems. Physically we can be with them, but we don't follow their negative thoughts, negative behaviors, bad words. That is the real meaning of not associating with fools. Okay? That is the very first one. Second one, associating with the wise. Panditanancha sevanam. This is also like that. Sometimes we may think that we should have good friends nearby. We should associate with good friends under same roof. It is not like that. Associating with the wise means associating with good qualities of the wise person. Sometimes that wise person may die. He may be dead. If he listening to his voice or sermon, if he read some books, then we can follow him. We can associate with him even though he is dead. Sometimes, in the current society we are so fortunate. We can associate with many friends who are very far, using new technology. Watching some YouTube sermons, we can associate with them. Even though we have never seen them, we can associate them. That is the way how we make a good association. Okay? That is the second one. Third one, pujacha pujaniyanam, honoring those who are worthy of honor. If we meet some persons who are better than we are, with qualities, if we can respect them, that is also a blessing. Here in this very first stanza, Buddha has explained 3 blessings that we can make in this life. Not associating with fools, associating with the wise, honoring those who are worthy of honor. These 3 things are said in the very first stanza here. You know, when we purify our mind and also when we are wise, automatically these blessings happen in our life. We have to do only one thing, that purify in our mind. When we associate with good friends, noble association, and also if we purify our mind, automatically these things happen in our life, in our day-to-day life. The more we practice these blessings, the more we are happy. The more our mind is pure, the more these blessings happen in our life. Second stanza that, and patirupadesa vasocha pubbecha kata punyata atta samma panidicha etang mangala muttamam. The first one, patirupadesa vasocha, living in a suitable place. What is the suitable place? Suitable place that where we can reach the Dhamma easily, and also where we can reach the noble association easily, where we can practice this Dhamma easily. Sometimes if you would born in some Middle East countries, it is sometimes not a suitable place. You have no chance to practice this message. Actually, you are so fortunate. You are blessed. You have already received this benefit in your life. Living in a suitable place. Buddha says, for monks, when you stay in a place, even though you have a lot of foods, if you don't have good friends to discuss with Dhamma, please go from that place. It is not a suitable place. Even though you have a very few food, few facilities, if you have good association, please stay there. Don't go away from that place. That is a suitable place. Next one, and pubbecha kata punyata. It means, what does it mean? Pubbecha kata punyata. If we have done merits in our previous lives and this life, it means pubbecha kata punyata, formerly having done good deeds. Sometimes you may think that I should need some good deeds that I have done in my previous lives. It is only one of things, that if you done some good deeds in the morning, it is also a previous karma. You know, sometimes some people don't believe that when we do some good deeds in this life, they come to results in this life. Actually, if we do some good deeds in this life, because Dhamma is immediately effective, visible results, we can see the results of our good deeds in this immediate life. If someone has done good deeds in his previous lives or in the past, it is also a blessing. When you think your dana, alms giving, that happened on Friday. When you think that activity, merit, actually it is blessed for you. It is also like that merit. Isn't it? When we think our good deeds that we did in this life or previous life, then we can be happy because at the moment we are happy. Whenever we are righteously happy, it means it is a blessing. Because at the moment our mind is so pure and calm. Atta samma panidicha, having right aspiration for oneself. If we can control our mind from negative thoughts, if we can make a very pure mind, that is also a blessing. Next stanza. Bahu sacchancha sippancha vinayocha susikkito subhasitacha yavacha etang mangalamuttamam. Bahu sacchancha, having great learning. Sippancha, craft, vocational education. According to Buddhism, there are 3 educations. What they are? There are some educations that we can see, subjective educations. Like that, if you study some languages or engineering, medicine, that is the first one. The second one, vocational education. If you can do something physically, that is the second one. The third one is moral education. Sadachara adhyapana. These 3 things are very important. First one and second one are useful to this life. Moral education is useful to this life and hereafter. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of education. Everyone believes that education is first. That is very important. Subjective education or academic education, vocational education and moral education. Next, Buddha says, Vinayocha susikkito, being disciplined. That is also a blessing. And susikkito, well trained. Vinayocha susikkito. Vinaya means we should have a good character. And also we should have a good behavior. Both of them are blessings. Next, Buddha says, Subhasitacha yavacha. Whatever words are well spoken or pleasant speech is a blessing. When we speak good, correct, sweet words, we receive a lot of benefits in this society. Discipline in speech is very important. According to Indian society, they also emphasize the importance of good words. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, nabruyam satyam apriyam, priyancha nanutam bruyat, desha dharmak sanatanam. Satyam bruyat, we should tell truth. Priyam bruyat, we should tell which is very pleasant. Nabruyam satyam apriyam. Nabruyam satyam apriyam. Even though it is true, if it is not pleasant, we should not tell. Priyanchananutam bruyat. Even though it is very pleasant, if it is not true, we should not tell. Isn't? I think you are qualified for Sanskrit language.
I've heard this, but I can't remember.
Okay. And the next one, Subhasitacha, actually it has a very deep meaning in Buddhism. Sometimes some cunning people, they can use some sweet words, but they are not honest. They use some pleasant words to cheat others. Then it is not good. According to Buddhism, intention is very important. Attitude is very important. Sometimes we can blame someone that we do to correct him kindly. That is also a pleasant word according to Buddhism.
So we call it constructive criticism.
Yes, very important. Nidinangma pavattaram. Yam passe vajya dasinam. Even though we criticize something kindly, it is good. Then we use some sweet words to cheat others. According to, there is some discourse in Buddhism, Abhay Rajakumara Sutta. There Buddha says the importance of speech. In various ways, Buddha pointed out how we use the words in correct way. Those things are blessings. Mata pito pathanam puttadarasa sangaho anakulacha kammanta etam mangalamuttamam. Mata pito pathanam. Attending on our parents or taking care of our parents is a blessing. Why is that? It generates positive thoughts. When we take care of our parents, actually we develop positive thoughts, we develop merits at the moment. One day Buddha says, there are some periods that Buddhas don't appear. At that time, people in the world, the only one merit that they do to go to heaven is that taking care of their parents. By taking care of our parents, we can go to the heaven. That is a great merit. That is why, in Asian countries, always our parents live with us. We live together. And we take care of them, and also they advise us. Not only they advise us, but they advise our children too. We think that having our parents like wealth, that is a good resource for our life. Taking care of our parents is a supreme blessing. Next, Buddha says, Puttadarasa Sangaho. It means looking after one's wife and children righteously. That is also a blessing. That is also a making merit. When you cook something for your children kindly, there also you can develop some positive energies. When you look after your husband, when you look after your wife, there is a place where you can develop your merit. That is why Buddha says they are blessings. Anakulacha kammanta. Having work that is not confusing. In other words, that samma kammanta. Right livelihood or right actions. Right actions. Also a blessing. Those things are blessings. Then Buddha says, Dhanancha dhammacharyacha jnatakanancha sangaho anavajjani kammani etang mangalamuttamam. Dhanancha, practicing generosity, is a blessing, supreme blessing. Why is that? When we offer something to others, our mind is so pure and calm, like a lotus flower. When you practice generosity at home, on that day, your mind is so pure. You are so generous. Everyone can come to your house as their own. That is why Buddha says, practicing generosity is a supreme blessing. Piti mudarang vindati data. He who practices generosity receives a lot of happiness. And also, practicing generosity is one of the ways to win friends. He who practices generosity has a lot of good friends. That is why Buddhism emphasizes the importance of practicing generosity at the beginning on the path of liberation. Dhanancha, Dhammacharyacha, living by the Dhamma. He who lives with Dhamma is protected by the Dhamma. Dhammo have rakkati Dhammacharin. He who practices Dhamma, then Dhamma is protected. Dhamma protects him. Next, Buddha says, Jnatakanancha Sangaho. We take care of our parents, wives and children. Not only that, but we look after our relatives too. If they are needing something, we are ready to help them. Not only material help, but we should help them with Dhamma. That is very important. Sabbadanan Dhammadanan jinati. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. If we offer some food, it is useful only for a day or several days. If you give someone a cloth, that is benefit only 1 or 2 years. If you give a job to a person, it is useful only until he is retired. If you give a house, it is only useful for until he dies. But if you help someone with Dhamma, that Dhamma is helpful for him for his entire sansaric journey. Not only this life. That is why Buddha emphasizes the importance of giving Dhamma. Then Buddha says, Anakulacha kammanta, doing actions that are blameless. That is also very important. Buddha says, when you do something physically, verbally or mentally, you have to think it again and again whether it is correct or not. That is very important. Sometimes we are criticized by wise people. Even though we do some good deeds, sometimes some people may blame you. It doesn't matter, but we should be careful that whether wise people criticize us. That is the measurement. That is the place where we should check. That is why, in Karanimettha Sutta, Buddha says, Nachakuddam samachare kinchi yena vinyo parayopavadeyo. You should not do any mistake that wise people criticize you. That is very important. Anakulacha kammanta etam mangalam uttaman. These are blessings. Arati virati papa majjapanacha sanyamo. Appamadocha dhammesu etam mangalam uttamam. Arati virati papa. Abstaining from bad deeds, evils. In 5 precepts, we promise not to do those things. Those are evils, which pollute our mind. And again Buddha says, Madhyapanāca saññamo. Refraining from intoxicating drinks and drugs is a supreme blessing. Other people may think that having some drink is a blessing, isn't it? But we know very well, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs is a blessing. That is a blessing. Having some alcohol is not a blessing. Next one, appamādoca dhammesu. Being heedful regarding all things or Dhamma. That is also very important. We should practice Dhamma as much as we can. Our life is impermanent. Death is certain. Life is uncertain. Jīvitaṃ aniyataṃ marananiyataṃ. Then we should be hurried to practice Dhamma as much as we can. We don't know whether next day we will die. This is the very proper time that we can practice to Dhamma. Practicing Dhamma means, purifying one's mind. Practicing mindfulness. Keeping our attention in the present moment with mindfulness and reflecting on impermanence. This is the way how we can practice Dhamma. Buddha always advises us to not to be away from mindfulness. Whenever we are in mindfulness, actually we have a real protection. Whenever we are away from mindfulness, it means we have no security. We have no protection. Living in Dhamma means living in mindfulness. With the awareness of our body and mind. What happens to my body and mind? Which is impermanent. Every moment my body changes, my mind also changes. 5 aggregates arise and cease every moment. This is the highest thing that we have to practice in the highest level according to what the Buddha taught. Being heedful regarding practicing Dhamma. Gāravoca nivātoca santuttīca kataññutā kālena dhamma savanam etaṃ mangalamuttamam. Gāravoca, having respect. Nivātoca, being humble. Santuttīca, being satisfied. Kataññutā, grateful. Gratitude. These are the qualities that we can practice in the name of a blissful life. Here it is very important to understand that being satisfied. Mostly people think that the better days next day, tomorrow. That tomorrow never comes. Buddha says, you try to be happy today with what you have already. It doesn't mean that we should not earn more. While we are earning more, we should be happy on this day, on tomorrow, on today. That is very important. Yatha bala, yatha satti. Whatever we are strength, whatever we are skillful, we should be satisfied there. Next, Buddha says, very important in Kathanyuta, grateful. We should be grateful. Gratitude is a very special quality according to the Buddha taught. Why is that? Buddha says very special thing. The Supreme Buddha says, Kevala hesa bhikkhave sappursa bhumi yadidang kathanyuta katavedi. All good qualities depend on gratitude. Whatever you do as a good thing depends on gratitude. For example, if you clean your house, that is also a gratitude. If you worship the Buddha, that is also a gratitude. If you clean your body, that is also a gratitude. If you wash your car, that is also a gratitude. If you take care of your parents, that is also a gratitude. Until, we die, whatever we do in the name of good, that can be included into gratitude. Make sense?
Usually when we use the word grateful, we are thinking that we should be thanking some other body, some other person, or something that is outside of ourselves.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. When we take care of our parents, we think that is gratitude. We need a person, another person. It is correct. But if you respect the land where we were born, that is also a gratitude. It has a deep meaning.
So you were saying like washing your car,
yes.
That's a sense of gratitude that the car exists, that
yes.
it's there,
Mm-hmm. Even we wash our own body. Actually, that is also a gratitude.
And obviously the other one is gratitude for the opportunity of hearing Dharma.
Yeah.
If you respect the Sangha, because they protected Dhamma, we respect them. We receive this message because the Mahasangha protected this message. That is why we respect them. That is the way we pay our gratitude to them. Actually, it is a very wide concept in Buddhism. Next, Buddha says, very special thing, Kalena Dhamma Savanam. Listening to them at the right time. How it is said that right time? We can practice Dhamma anywhere, every moment. But when we listen to Dhamma, it should be a proper place. When you are in the court, you can listen to Dhamma. Then you have to go to a jail. If you are in a very special ceremony, you can't listen to Dhamma. But you can think Dhamma. You can practice Dhamma mentally. But at that time you can't listen to Dhamma. That is why Buddha says here, Kalena Dhamma Savana, listening to Dhamma at the right time. Yes?
This occurred to me. When you say, if you are doing something, studying for example, you can't be listening to Dhamma, but you are mindful. So isn't mindfulness one of the tenets of Dhamma?
Yes, it is Dhamma. Here it means Savanam. Kalena Dhamma Savanam. Listening to Dhamma. Listening to Dhamma we should do at the proper time. But we can practice. We can practice mindfulness everywhere. We can contemplate on Buddha's qualities everywhere. We can reflect on impermanence everywhere. Even while you are driving, you can practice loving kindness. You can reflect on impermanence. But sometimes we are unable to listen to Dhamma at some places. That is why Buddha says, Kalena Dhamma Savanam. When you are in the court, you can't listen to Dhamma. Then judge will give you some punishment. Isn't? Next, these things are blessings in our life. Here, Kanticha Sovachasata Samananancha Dasanam Kalena Dhamma Sakacha Etam Mangala. Kanticha, being patient. Sovachasata, easily spoken to. It is very important. Suvacha is a very important quality that we should have on this path. Suvacha and obedience are different. Sometimes we may think that Suvacha and Kinkara, in Sanskrit and Pali, Kinkara, sometimes we may think that both are same. Actually, they have some near qualities, near characteristics, but they are different. Suvacha means we should be gently spoken. When someone says something, we should be ready to listen to what he says. That is a good quality. All of you have this quality. Obedience means that we follow everything what elders or other people say. It is not a quality in Buddhism. Obedience is not a real quality. If someone says some bad thing, if we follow it, what happens to us? We have to face some problems. But active listening or gently spoken is a good qualities everywhere. It doesn't mean that we should follow what he says. Before we follow it, we should have good listening. We should pay our attention. Then we can follow if it is correct. Because we are wise. Then Buddha says, Samananancha Dasanam, having sight of ascetics. If we see some people who are virtuous persons, then our eye is very pleasant. We are very happy, There are some Buddhist countries in Asia, like Thailand, Burma, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos. Actually, they wait for monks in the morning. They wake up thinking offering something to Mahasangha.
Ramesh and Radha were there recently.
Yes.
And so did that.
Yes, every moment they think seeing some good people or ascetic people is a pleasant for our eye. Then our mind is so pure and calm. We are pleasant. We are blessed. Then Buddha says, like we discussed before, Kalena Dhamma Sagacha. Discussing the Dhamma at the right time. Isn't? We can't practice Dhamma discussion everywhere. If you are in the playground while you are playing, you can discuss Dhamma. Sometimes you are in the hospital with some seriously ill person. Actually, we can sometimes discuss Dhamma. But they can listen in something at that time. But we are unable to discuss Dhamma with them. We should be wise to understand where is the proper place where we can listen to Dhamma and where we can discuss Dhamma. If someone does something which is Dhamma discussion in the proper place, that is a supreme blessing, like now we are doing. This is the right place. And next one, Buddha says, Tapocha brahmacharyancha arya sachchana dasanam nibbana sachchikiryacha etang mangala muttamam. Now, little by little, we are going to the deeper level in the ocean of the Dhamma. Saint, as I mentioned before, little by little, we go to the absolute truth from the conventional truth. That is why I said that it has an order. Here Buddha says, tapocha, self-control. Now we have Dhamma knowledge. With listening to Dhamma, with discussing Dhamma at the proper place. Now we have received the knowledge, what we practice in Dhamma, where we are going to on this path. Now we are disciplined in our senses, and also Arya Sachchana Dasanam. When we come to this level, we know the Four Noble Truths, how suffering arises and ceases. Because with good association, listening to Dhamma, seeing ascetic people, discussing Dhamma, when we come to this level, we know the essence of Buddhism, the heart of what the Buddha taught, cause and effect, the dependent origination of Four Noble Truths. Understanding the Four Noble Truths is a blessing. It is not just a blessing, it is a supreme blessing. Then, Nibbana Sattikiryacha Etang Mangala Muttamam. Experiencing emancipation, liberation, or Nibbana is a blessing. This is the highest blessing according to what the Buddha taught. With the understanding of the liberation or Nibbana, we have become the highest level in spirituality. Puttassa loka dhammehi chittang yassana kampati. He whose mind doesn't waver when it is touched by things of this world. Making an unshaken mind, equanimity, is the highest blessing. The world always waves. The 8 worldly conditions, Ashtaloka Dharma, Labha Alabha, gain and loss, Yasa Ayasa, honor and dishonor, Ninda Prasansa, Prasansa and Ninda, praise and blame, Sapaduk, happiness and misery. These are the things that we face in our day-to-day life. Buddha says, if someone can make a mind which is unshaken among these 8 worldly conditions, actually that is a supreme blessing. With the understanding of the Dhamma, the Four Noble Truths, practicing Eightfold Path and 3 disciplines, now we have made an unshaken mind that no one can disturb. That is a supreme blessing. With this understanding, Buddha says, Asokang Virajan Keman. being griefless, dustless, and secure are supreme blessings. Being griefless, being dustless, being secure, those are supreme blessings, highest blessing. We discussed here 38 blessings from the ordinary level to absolute truth, from the surface level to deep level, from the understanding of karmic law to understanding of the dependent origination of Four Noble Truths. This is the order that we can see in all Buddhist doctrines that Buddha has explained. If we have Kalyana Mitra, little by little we can understand this order. Here it is very important, Buddha's language. Then we can reach the real definition, what Buddha meant. Here, when we go forward with good association, getting rid of evils, understanding the Four Noble Truths, experiencing liberation, we are going to the equanimity, making an unshaken mind. If we have these qualities, actually we are so blessed. These are the supreme blessings that we can make for our inner peace, real happiness. Here, it is very important to understand the value of good association. We receive everything with good association. When we receive good association, we should be gently spoken, we should be wise, and we should be honest. These three qualities are very important. But they are gently spoken, honesty, and wisdom. We should be gently spoken, wise, and honest. If we have these three qualities and if we have good association, then we can go forward on the path of peace, on the path of liberation. Here, as I mentioned before, we should understand the heavenly path and deliverance path, the path of emancipation. Both of them are very important. In the first level, we should be qualified in the karmic law. Whatever we do with intention, physically, verbally or mentally, we will have same results according to our mental condition. Then we try to overcome evils and we practice good deeds as three meritorious deeds as much as we can. It belongs to the samsaric circle. The next level, Buddha pointed out that how we overcome the samsaric journey. There we have to understand three characteristics, three lakshana. What are the three characteristics? Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and egolessness, no soul. Understanding impermanence depends on understanding Paticcasamuppada. Whatever we experience through our senses at the moment, we create the world. The world arises. We create the world at the moment according to our present mental condition. That experience didn't come to the present from the past. That experience will not go to future from the present. But our past experience, our past mental condition influenced the present thought. Present thought influences next thought. But the past experience doesn't come to the present as it is. The present thought will not go to future permanently. This is the nature of the dependent origination. If we have this understanding, we know very well whatever we experience through our senses, it means 5 aggregates: Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa means forms, Vedana feelings, and perception, Sanya, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. These 5 things arise together, cease together. When conditions arise, when conditions are together, this experience arises at the moment. When conditions separate, immediately the experience ceases. Buddha says, I proclaim only one thing for the ordinary people, Seka persons, and Aseka persons, Arahantas, which is that reflecting on arising and ceasing of 5 aggregates. When we reflect on this reality, our mind doesn't depend on any outside things. And also, we don't depend on even in our mind. We understand that everything is impermanent. Everything arises at the moment, ceases at the moment. Then we completely depend on wisdom, panya, prajna. Reflecting on impermanence, reflecting on arising and ceasing of 5 aggregates is the way of developing wisdom. Our real success depends on getting rid of suffering. Getting rid of suffering depends on how far we reflect on impermanence. Reflecting on impermanence leads us to get rid of suffering. As the result of practicing this path, finally, 5 spiritual faculties increase to the maximum level. Indriya Dharma, Pancha Indriya. 5 spiritual faculties. What they are? Saddha, confidence in what the Buddha taught. Virya, energy. Sati, mindfulness. Samadhi, tranquility or concentration. And Panya, wisdom. Actually, this is the real wealth that we earn practicing Dhamma. These are the things that a Buddha checks when he meets a person. As soon as a Buddha meets a person, Buddha checks that how much that person has developed these 5 spiritual faculties in his previous lives. Therefore, we can say this is the real property. This is the real wealth that we earn day by day in our life to the maximum level. As the result of practicing this path, there is a very special thing in Buddhism, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sometimes you may think that good morning arises in the West or Europe. No. Good morning starts in Buddhism before 2600 years ago. That is a discourse in Anguttara Nikaya. Buddha says, if someone does something with a pure mind, physically, verbally and mentally in the morning, that morning is a good morning. If someone does something in the morning, physically, mentally and verbally, that morning is a good morning. Not only good morning that Buddha says, but even good afternoon too. If someone speaks or acts something with a pure mind, afternoon, that afternoon is a good afternoon, blissful afternoon. Again Buddha says, if someone does something with the pure mind, physically, verbally and mentally, that evening is a blissful evening. Supubbanha, good morning. Sumajjanha, good afternoon. Susayanha, good evening. Buddha has pointed out how we make a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good night. Whenever we purify our mind, whenever we act something with a pure mind, every moment that we act like that is a blissful moment. Our success, our bliss, our happiness depends on purifying one's mind. If we can keep our mind with pure and calm, our all activities are correct. Our all activities are supreme blessings. That is the path that Buddha points out in this discourse. Have any question?
I noticed, Bhante, you put a reference on the Anguttara Nikaya.
Yes.
Is that the Book of Ones?
Yes, one means, I put it here that according to the Tripitaka Buddha Jayanti book. Yes, that's the one.
It's not the Book of Ones.
Not PTS.
No.
Not PTS. What is the page, please?
It says page 532.
523, yes. It comes in, Tika Nipata. Three things are there. Therefore, it comes in Tika Nipata in Anguttara Nikaya. You can check it. Okay?
I think there's a translation by Bhikkhu Bodhi. I'm not sure I can...
You can see it there.
Yeah.
Okay. Surely. I can say you the Pali words. Actually, Pali words are here.
I can find it through the Pali.
Supubbanha, Sumajjanha, and Susayanha. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Even though we say that good morning, actually it is not a real good morning. We should purify our mind at the moment by practicing generosity and virtue and meditation. Then automatically that morning becomes a good morning.
So, when we wish someone good morning, the intention is to wish them well. So, it's the right mind state, and it's kind speech. So, thinking, speech, action would be doing something while wishing them good morning?
Actually, while we are wishing them, if we can think, may you be well, happy and peaceful.
Yeah, that's what
then,
you mean, isn't
yes.
it? When you say good morning, it's a colloquial way of saying, may you have a good morning.
Yes, actually, if we know the Dhamma, we can say, while we are saying good morning, mentally we can think, may you be well, happy and peaceful. Then automatically, it is a blissful morning for us. Actually, then with that powerful mind, if you bless them, their mind also pure. Then automatically, a blissful morning happens there.
So the purification.
Yes, purification. We purify our own mind, and also we help them to purify their own mind. Both of them happen at the same time. Because we use pleasant words with a smile. Subhasita Jayavacha, speak in pleasant word, also a supreme blessing. With pure mind. Okay, I have ordered all blessings here as an order. You can check it with the Pali word and you can improve your understanding.
Did you say aura?
Order.
Oh, order.
Order.
Yeah.
Order.
I heard you say aura several times. I wondered whether you meant order. Yeah.
Bhante, can I make a request? You're coming to the end of the sermon. Either after the sermon or before you do the final blessing, is it possible to chant the whole of this Mangala Sutta in the Pali? It shouldn't take so long. Then it will be on the recording, and we can, those of us who wish to learn that Sutta can...
Yes, we can recite it.
Yes.
Both of us we can recite. Okay?
Can I...
And also, please wait a minute. The other thing, as you asked me, how we can practice, Marananusati Bhavana, the recollection of death, mindfulness in death. Actually, that is also one of the meditation techniques in Buddhism. Jivitang aniyatang marananiyatam. Life is uncertain, death is certain. Thinking thus is a meditation technique in Buddhism. When we practice this meditation, actually at the moment we purify our mind. Not only that, our energy, our courage increases. If we know that we are the people who are subject to die, we are hurried to practice this message. Sometimes you have heard about Steve Jobs, who founded the Apple company.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in his life, I think 8 or 10 years, he was sick. He was getting medicine for his cancer. Every day, he went to the mirror. He reflected on death. While he was reflecting on death, actually he created a lot of things to the world that now we are using. Sometimes, some people may think that mindfulness of death is a negative thing. Actually, that is not negative. If we think that we are subject to die, we are hurried to practice, which is good. Not only for us, but for all over the world. We do everything as much as we can if we know that I am subject to die. Therefore, if we contemplate on death, then our courage gradually increases. We are hurried to practice this Dhamma in this life itself.
So when we are contemplating death, what are we thinking? Are we thinking that this body, this life is finished? But are we thinking beyond that? Are we thinking, I hope my good karma will take me to a better life? Or are we not to think that?
No, actually we don't think our next life.
No.
When we reflect on death, we think my life is impermanent. Then we are hurried to practice this message. Actually, we have received a very blissful chance here. We should get the benefit through this life. And there are a lot of, very big people in the world. They were also subject to die. We are also like that. There are several things we can compare with these other people. There are very strong people in the world. They are also subject to die. I am a very small person. I am also subject to die. And like a person who is waiting to kill my neck, day by day I am reaching my death. Thus thinking, we develop our dedication to practice this Dhamma.
Tony teaches, Tony Fletcher, he teaches this quite frequently about being prepared for the moment of death, because life is uncertain, death is certain, only the time of death is uncertain, so we could die at any time. And he says it's very important to prepare your mind to be ready for death, because if you die in a bad state, that conditions your next life, and if you die feeling happy and with loving kindness, that conditions a better life.
Yes, that is good. But however, according to practicing contemplating on death, we are not ready to end of our life.
No.
We are ready to this moment. We don't know when we die.
But this moment could be.
Yes, this is the proper time. If we can contemplate on this moment, it means our entire life is mindful. The very moment, a real moment is this moment.
This breath.
Yes, this present breath is the proper time that we can practice Dhamma. If we can succeed this moment, it means our entire life is successful. If we succeed this life, it means we develop our mind to the maximum level with compassion and wisdom. Then automatically our end of life will be successful. We don't need to think it. Automatically it will happen.
A thought just occurred. So if we do it with the intention that this will have that benefit, then that doesn't make it right intention or right view even, isn't it? It's
Actually the purpose of practicing death is especially developing our courage to practice Dhamma. On the other side, while we are contemplating on death, we purify our mind from greed and anger. If we know that I am subject to die, I think that why I hate others, why I desire others, why I combine with lust. When we think my death, automatically greed, anger, delusion go away. See, everything, especially all meditation techniques in Buddhism, is that purifying our mind, not thinking of the future. It is not the purpose of Buddhist meditation. While we are practicing dana or sila, we can think it. It doesn't matter. But when we practice meditation techniques, we trained our mind to succeed this moment. Then automatically our future will be successful. Okay, thank you for your good attention.
Sorry, could I ask one more question?
Sure.
That's okay. We talked earlier on about looking after parents, and I think most of us here have good parents that have looked after us. What if you're advising somebody else who's been unlucky, and many parents are cruel to their children? How do they look after their parents? How can you convince them it is a good thing to do if their parents are cruel?
Yes, if our parents are cruel.
Yes, some parents.
Yes, some parents are like that. Yes, it is good. Sometimes it is very difficult to take care of our parents. I accept it. But however, we should think their service. We are here because of them. Even though they didn't do anything for us, it is enough that they deliver us here. If they didn't do that service, we are not here. Sometimes some children may think that my parents didn't give me good education, they didn't give me some, properties, wealth, therefore I don't take care of them. Actually, that is not good. If they deliver us, that is enough. We are breathing, we are standing in this world because of them. That is enough to help them. On the other side, sometimes when we are going to help them, our parents are not ready to get that help. Then we should be wise to that how we help them. We should understand what they like and what they dislike. Then we can help them. Sometimes they may die. Then we can help other elders too. Thinking our own mother or father.
So we should still develop metta towards them.
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't know what problems they have or what came with their life. What they brought over from experiences they've had and so on. We shouldn't judge them on that.
The thing is, we shouldn't judge our parents, because even if they have been ill-treated, they must have had their reasons for doing it.
Perhaps if they've been really bad parents, one could only say maybe they be forgiven or...
On the other thing, that if our parents are dead, the other thing that we can help them transfer in merits to them. That is also one of the ways that we can help them. That is why Buddha says in Mangala Sutta, Atava pana petanang kalakatanang dakkinang anupadassati. After they die, we should acquire positive thoughts by practicing merits such as generosity. We should transfer merits to them. That is also one of the ways we can help them if they are dead. Now we are going to chant Mangala Sutta, the discourse of blessing that we discussed here. Evaṃ me sutam ekam samayam bhagavā Sāvantiyang viharati jetavane anātha pindikassa ārāme atako anyatara devatā abhiṅkhantāya rantiyā abhiṅkhanta vannā kevala kampaṃ jetavanam obhāsentvā yena bhagavate nupasaṅkhami upasaṅkhamitvā bhagavantaṃ abhivāditvā ekamantaṃ atthāsi Ekamantantita kosa devata Bhagavantang gathaya anjabhasi Baho deva manunsaja Mangalani achintayum Akankamana svantanam Bruhi mangala muntamang Asevanaja balanam Panditanancha sevanam Pujacha pujaniyanam Etang mangala muntamang Patirupadesa vasocha Pumbecha kata punyatam Anta samma panidicha Etang mangala muntamang Bahu sanchancha simpancha Vinayocha susikkito Subhasitacha yavacha Etang mangala muntamang Mata pitu upattanam Punta darassa sangaho Anakulaca kammanta Etang mangala muntamang Dahananca dhammacariyaca Nyata kananca sangaho Anavanjani kammani Etang mangala muntamang Arati virati papa Manjapanaca sanyamo Appamadoca dhammesu Etang mangala muntamang Garavoca nivatoca Santunteca katanyutam Kalena dhamma savanang Etang mangala muntamang Kanteca sovatansata Samanananca dassanam Kalena dhamma sakanca Etang mangala muntamang Tapoca brahmacharyanca Ariya sanchana dassanam Nibbana sanchikiriyaca Etang mangala muntamang Puttassa loka dhammehi Cintang yassana kampati Asokam virajang kemang Etang mangala muntamang Etadisani kantwana Sambantamaparajitam Sambanta santing ganchanti Tante sang mangala muntamanti.
Okay, thank you so much for your good attention and participation. By the power of all these meritorious deeds that we acquired here, may our departed relatives receive these meritorious thoughts, may they enhance their samsaric journey, and finally they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with our departed relatives. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. By the power of all these meritorious thoughts, may guardian deities and angels also receive this spiritual energy. May they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with guardian deities and angels too. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā cirang rakkantu sāsanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā cirang rakkantu desanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā cirang rakkantu maṃ paraṃ. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, spiritual energy, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain final bliss of liberation, the everlasting happiness, Nibbana. Dukkham pantā ca niddukkhaṃ, bhayam pantā ca nibbhayam, sokam pantā ca nissokam, huntu sambe pipānino. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.